Well, hey there. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, but you can, of course, call me Pajama Grandma. In case we haven't met yet, go ahead and put hashtag pajama in the comments below so I know it's the first time you're being exposed to the Pajama Grandma. Today's daily scare share is day 214, and it's all about performance anxiety. Now, I know what you're thinking, because that's where my brain went to, but that's not what it's about. That's not even one of the things listed on the checklist today. Performance anxiety. It says, rate your performance anxiety from 1 to 10. I'm going to say 1 is the least, not really anxious about. 10 is a lot anxious about. And then it gives us a list of things, and we're going to rate our performance anxiety on them. And I actually added a couple of things just to be a little braver to the list today. You can see I actually wrote on this one because the topic made me smile and laugh. Because everybody thinks of sex when they hear performance anxiety, right? If the Pajama Grandma thinks of sex when she hears performance anxiety, then I know darn well you do too. But I promise we're not going to even talk about that. It's not on the list. It's another kind of performance anxiety. It's getting up in front of a crowd type of performance anxiety. Now, you might not have any performance anxiety in the bedroom, but you might have a lot of performance anxiety when it comes to being in front of a crowd. I know I do. So, it says, rate your performance from a scale of 1 to 10 on giving a speech. Doesn't say how many people, so I say rate it on a speech in front of 5 people or a speech in front of one person, the person that you love and care about the most. And how about 3,000 people or 10,000 people? How does your anxiety change as the situation changes? Does it get higher or lower? Each of us are different. How about giving a toast? Are you anxious at all about giving a toast? Say you're giving a toast at a wedding, maybe one of your kids' weddings or your best friend's wedding. How anxious would that make you on a scale of 1 to 10? That wouldn't make me anxious at all. That would probably be like a 1, especially if it's somebody I love and care about. I'm not going to have a problem making a toast at that at all. How about acting on stage, being a stage performer or being in a play? How about singing a solo? I'm going to tell you right now, that one's through the roof for me. That's, if there could be a higher scale than 10, I would be higher than 10 on that one. Dancing in center of a circle, of the circle. Again, it kind of depends on the situation. If it's like a small dance at an event that you know people, I don't think that would be so scary, or I would have much performance anxiety. But if it's, well, maybe it doesn't matter. Sometimes it matters. Sometimes we have a harder time performing in front of people we know versus people we don't know. And each of us are different. How about doing stand-up comedy? I have no timing. I'm probably never going to do stand-up comedy, so I'd be pretty anxious about that unless somebody gave me some fantastic material and helped me practice to deliver it. How about something scarier? Can you think of anything scarier that you'd have to be doing some kind of a performance? Maybe it's an athletic competition. Maybe it's a sport. Maybe it's a hobby. Maybe it's a talent show. Maybe it's I don't know. I have a friend who's doing bodybuilding, and he's going for his master's or whatever it is in bodybuilding. Would that make you anxious? How about doing a Facebook Live or a live video? How about doing a webinar, a live webinar, or a training program for people? How about teaching a course? How would that fit on your anxiety schedule? And I actually put dating on here because that's a kind of a standing joke. Since I got divorced, it's sort of a joke, so I put dating on here. How anxious are you to do anything like that? Pardon me. Still got that cold. Still kicking. So that is today's daily scare share. Think about things like this and think about how anxious you are about things. Do you get anxious, and then what do you do about it? There's a lot of things we can do to feel less anxious. And most of them are just to practice in our mind what we're going to do and practice ourselves performing it successfully, doing a great job doing it. Because our fear is always greater than our actual performance. We're always way more afraid in our mind than things actually ever turn out in the world. So if we keep that in mind, it makes it easier for us to perform in any situation. So that's today's topic, kind of a fun one. I guess I didn't tell you my level of anxiety for any of these things except for singing. So So if you want to know, you have to ask me in the comments below, and I'll share my actual answers to these things. Go out and make it a fantastic day. Don't be scared. Don't be anxious. You got this. Pajama Grandma out.